more about Eventtus.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to be here. As Muhammad said, we know each other from a very long time ago. So basically, Eventtus is an online platform for events. We take the whole life cycle of events. We're trying to disrupt the events using technology. So basically, we do ticketing, registration, mobile app for socializing or the social experience during the events. We're trying to make events more interactive and digital using technology. We generate a lot of analytics to help organizers understand what's happening at the event, and it's live analytics, so they can take actions on the spot to make the event experience better for everyone. We started in 2012, and this is when we met. And we started this because I used to go to a lot of events and conferences and exhibitions myself, and Nihal, my co-founder, is here. And we used to feel that there's something missing in the events. Everyone is going to events to network, and there's no tool or a platform or a place to actually connect these people to help them actually make the most out of the event. You are investing your time and your effort, and you're going to the event, and you want to get something out of it. And on the other side, we used to go to exhibitions, especially like Cairo ICT. I'm an engineer myself, and I used to go to Cairo ICT, and every single year I go back with a bag full of swags, a lot of flyers and documents and books and everything, and there's a lot of money invested in this. And actually, I take the bag, I put it at home, and next year my mom take the bag and throw it away without even me looking what's inside the bag. So we thought, why don't we digitalize this, and we take it and we make something that people can actually use, can actually search, can actually find something and make something out of it. And that's basically Eventtus. Of course, that wasn't from day one. That was a progress, and we built it on stages. And right now we have team of 50 people between Cairo, Dubai, and Beirut, and we work with all the big events, starting from the GITEX to the small events, workshops, and seminars. And we're very happy to partner with RiseUp. We have been working with them since day one, since the first edition, and we do the ticketing and registration and the app for RiseUp as well. So that's basically what we do.
Okay. And you're also doing the app for RiseUp, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so I think we've all used the app and seen the experience, and this is the same experience that's been going on in the other apps. And I think there's some customization happening from one event to the other. That's correct. So you said this is where we are today, but it hasn't always been like this. So tell us a bit about the story, the journey itself.
Oh wow! So how I knew IoT actually is we were exhibiting at ArabNet, that was 6 years ago. It was the first ArabNet event that happened in Egypt, and we just had an idea. We got an idea that we want to disrupt something for events, and I got very obsessed about this. So I quit my job 2 weeks later. I felt that I got very attached to the idea, and I felt that I'm cheating on my full-time job. I was a software engineer working in a company, so I threw everything. I quit my job and then started working on this full-time before even we have the name of Eventtus. And we decided that this event is coming 2 months from now, and we need to build something and have something up and running before the event, so we can just showcase and go and talk to event organizers, attendees, and understand what event technology should we build. And we met. He just gave me his business card. He came after I pitched it on the stage. He gave me his business card and said Mai, I like what you're doing. I'm interested. Just keep me posted. And he left, and that's it. And then every few months, I started sending him emails here's what we have done. That's what our progress. What do you like this or not? Just asking for feedback and advice. And we started meeting in different events. And this is how we started. We started with a very small team. We wanted to build something, and we tried to understand the market. We tried to understand what's happening. I actually never organized an event myself, but now I believe I understand this industry inside out even better than the event organizers who are doing this forever. Because we decided that we need to travel and we need to attend a lot of events. So we took a year. We just launched the website in 2012, end of 2012. And we took a year traveling, attending events everywhere. We have been to the States, Europe, Saudi, Dubai, even Nairobi. We attended events just with the mentality to learn and understand how event organizers think about events, how they organize events, what tool they use, what attendees actually want from events and conferences. And we started taking it step by step. So we built that. We decided that we are not fundraising until we have something that's actually proven, and we wanted some paying customers. And I remember like the first invoice I issued, it was like 150, something below like 300 Egyptian pounds. That's nothing now. But that was the first paying customer we got. And it was a very proud moment for us. And it was actually a friend. And then we took it step by step, and we wanted to take events. And once we had like a product that's tested and proven, we decided to focus on one sector. So we decided to take events and startup related events, because these are people who are, they can use technology, they can use the app, and they can give us feedback. And because we're a startup at the end of the day, so we know most of the community, so we can ask them for an honest feedback, not just like, oh, we like it. No, they can tell us, this is not working, this is shitty, you need to improve this and that. Once we had a nice product, we started fundraising, and we got the first investment from Vodafone Ventures, which was IoT was leading that back then, and Care Angels. And then a year later, we had something solid, so we decided, let's move to Dubai. Dubai is the hub for events in the Middle East, and this is where we want to be. So I moved to Dubai. I actually went to Dubai to attend like few events, and then I changed my LinkedIn account to I live in Dubai. I faked it. I was going back and forth, and whenever I had a mobile number in Dubai, and I used to make calls from here to customers in Dubai. And it's all about networking and relationships. So I had a friend who knows someone who knows an event organizer in Dubai. So I asked for his contact. He gave me his number. I called him and I said, like, I'm in town for 12 hours and I want to meet you. And we met him the next day, and that was the first client we had in Dubai. And since then, it started growing until we actually have an office, and we have an actual office in Dubai, and we have like 12 people working there. And now it's our biggest market, and this year we started to get global events. So we have events now in the US, in London, in Spain, Poland, Jakarta, Singapore, and across the GCC and Middle East. So this is how we started.
Okay. You make it sound too easy.
Not really. That's the fun part of it.
Yeah. Tell us about the non-fun part. I'm sure there were challenges.
Oh my God. Okay.
Choose one.
It's very hard to choose one, but I think it's...
I don't want to choose.
You know the story. No, I think like dealing with everything, like you have each stage, it has its own challenges and difficulties. Like in the beginning, this is all what we are doing, and we want to get the website up and running, or we need to get the app up and running. And then the next stage, we need to hire people, but we're broke, we don't have money, so we need to hire people. So every stage is different. And once you have the money and you have the people and you have the team, now what should I do? How do I run a company actually? How do I keep sales going? It's not only friends or my network. I actually need to go to meetings and sell this. And I'm a software engineer at the end of the day. So I had to learn about all the different aspects. I had to learn like management, HR, how to manage a team, how to manage a team actually across different countries, how to hire management level, how to sell, how to deal with investors, term sheets, shareholders agreements, and negotiations, and all of that. So there's no like a single challenge. I think the single challenge is, as an entrepreneur, how to keep going every day. I think that's the most important skill and challenge, because every day is, you can be on the top of the world, you can be like changing stuff, and you feel that you own the world and you're the next Mark Zuckerberg, and then the next day you look into your balance sheet and you understand that you are in deep shit and you need to raise funds.
Were there any challenges, stereotypical challenges related to being a lady trying to set up a tech company in Egypt or in other markets? Did you face any of that?
Yeah, you know that I don't like this question.
I know,
yeah. So there's two sides to this story.
Mm-hmm.
There's always challenges, but also there's always challenges as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to do it if you are a male or female. Mm-hmm. I've never been a male, so I don't know what's the challenges on the other side, but it's already difficult for everyone. Mm-hmm. I think there's one thing that we actually try to make the most out of it, because me and Nihal were two girls, and we started very young, and we were like two girls coming from software engineering, and we're trying to do something, and we're trying to sell it to the biggest events and biggest corporates. And we looked very young back then, and I think people take the impression that we can't actually do it, or we don't have the skills, or we don't have the capabilities to do it. So I think that was challenging, but at the same time motivating to us, that we have to prove that we can do it. And on the other side, people who know us and they know the story, they try to help. So if you use it in your favor, it actually, because everyone wants to help two girls trying to disrupt events using technology. So we use it to our favor, actually, and we go and we ask for help, and we ask people for support, and they support. Once they feel that you have done your homework, you know what you're talking about, you're not just trying to sell them anything, you actually know what you're doing, so they try to help. On the other side, the challenge, I think, maybe we're dealing with employees, dealing with different genders, like people from the different gender, if you're trying to manage like people, especially if they're older than you, and they feel something, sometimes when they are insecure, they feel that they can't report you, or you can't manage them and stuff like that. So that was one of the challenges, but I think we overcome that with experience.
Okay. And you've built a culture in the company that is designed around, it's about performance, it's about hard work, and so on, which is good. I'll go back to summer 2 years ago. So Mai called me and said, Muhammad, in 1 hour I'll be on the stage with Barack Obama and Mark Zuckerberg. And that was, he was still a sitting president at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. So can you tell us a bit about that? How did that happen, and what was it like on that stage, representing the entire Middle East?
That was one of the moments when you on top of the world,
yeah.
And then you don't actually understand what's happening. So it happened that there's an event called a Global Entrepreneurship Summit. It's a global event. Actually, President Barack Obama started this. It was an initiative. They do the event every year in a different country. And I was following the event, since what we do is actually events and entrepreneurship. So I was interested in this event. And for 3 years, I couldn't make it every single year. And it's an invitation only. You have to apply. It's an online form. And one day I was sitting on my laptop and saw a video. It was very late at night, and it was like 2 hours to the deadline or something like that. So I saw a video. Obama is inviting entrepreneurs from all over the world to actually go to the event, apply, and go and make it to this event. And it was his last event, so it was in Silicon Valley in Stanford University. And I applied, and they forgot about it. It was last minute, and then 2 months later, I got an email acceptance. I'm invited to the event. I would go to the event, and I'm just a normal attendee. I flew to San Francisco, and like few days before the event, and then I got an email from someone at the whitehouse.com. And the first thing came to my mind, this is spam. I sent it to Nihal and told her, like, what do you think? The email was an invitation just to meet, like, hi, Mai, I know that let's meet before the event. I'm interested to learn more about your experience and what you are doing before the event. And that's it. And then she actually told me, like, just reply and let's see what happens. And then I replied, and then that was actually a person, and she wants to meet before the event. And then I went to that meeting, and she came with someone else, and she introduced herself as I run PR for Mark Zuckerberg. So I was like, okay. And then I don't know what happened. And then at the first day at the event, they invited me. I got a phone call. I went to meet them, and they said, like, hi, Mai, would you like to be on stage with Barack Obama and Mark Zuckerberg? I was like, what? Yeah, and that's it. It happened. Like a day later, I was on stage. So I was totally unprepared. They didn't share questions. They didn't share anything. I was just on the stage, like a room full of people. I don't know, like 3,000 people or something, and it was scary.
And the whole world was watching.
Yeah, it was like live streamed everywhere. I found like my friends were watching TV, and suddenly they saw me on TV.
So I took a screenshot from the live stream and I put it on my Facebook. Then 20 minutes later, it was like shared over 1,000 times. And Mai had like 50, 60,000 new followers suddenly, and like she was suddenly a celebrity.
Yeah, I came out from the stage and I found like 3,000 notifications on my Facebook. What? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
but one thing that you told me and was very important for me was when President Obama arrived a few minutes early to the talk, and backstage he actually broke the ice and discussed what you're doing to understand. And he came in very prepared, so there was an experience in that these 40 minutes. Is there anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, he was like, we were 3 entrepreneurs and Mark Zuckerberg representing Silicon Valley entrepreneurs somehow, and he was very friendly. He knows each one of us. He knows our names, what we do. So he actually came and said like, I know you're doing ticketing and you're doing blah 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 and events and app and. He even asked me how to pronounce my name, and he told us a story about the first time he met Mark Zuckerberg at Bill Gates' house, and he was trying to make us feel more comfortable, I think, on the stage. And we spoke, we had a very nice chat for like 10-15 minutes on the stage or backstage, and I don't know. That
no, I learned that you cannot go to a meeting or an event or interaction unprepared. And even someone who's running the United States takes the time to study before going on stage and knowing the people. And also, I think it made it easier for you then to open up.
Yeah, of course.
On the stage. Mai, we're running short in time, so I just want to ask, what are your plans for the future? Where do you see Eventtus going?
Take over events.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it?
No, we actually, the way we see this, that we're building a tool to help organizers and connect all the stakeholders of events, attending events, to make a real value of events. So this is what we're trying to focus on. We started with Egypt, and now we have all the events in Egypt, and we moved to Dubai, and now we have all the big events in Dubai, including like Jitex, Informa, even Expo 2020, like big names. We did the same in Saudi, and we're trying to expand. I believe that there is huge room for a small company started in Egypt to actually dominate the market and actually go global and get global clients. I don't see any limitation in what we're doing. I don't see that. It all needs like some passion and someone who is persistent to go and take all over the world.
And do you have any closing remarks? Recommendations, advice, thoughts, reflections, complaints?
No, I gave you the complaints yesterday. No, it's just keep going. Like as an entrepreneur, as I said, like it all starts in your mentality. Like if you believe in what you're doing, if you like it, if you build like a support system around you from people who actually believe in you and they push you to your limits and more. That's all what you need. It's not easy. No one said it's easy, but it's actually very, very hard. But you need support system. You need people to help you do it. I would never do it without Nihal and my friends and my family who are very supportive, and even the investors and investors who become friends later on, like Ayuti. And I remember like in the very first days we used to chat all the time, even late at night, and just talking about the product, how we see it in the future. And he always gives me like very hard feedback, and we take it. And whenever we implement something, even years later on, I send him something, and he gives me. He never say it's okay, it's working. There's always there's always something more that we need to do, and that's actually what you need. It's not about the cheerleaders or people who just tell you that you're doing a good job, but also you need people who actually push you to your limits and to keep going and to keep disrupting and keep changing. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Mai.
Thank you.
We'll open up the floor for some questions. So anybody has any questions? Okay. You have a question?
I have a question.
Yes,
I can manage the question.
Thank you.
And have a question.
So you got the first question.
So, May, I was interested in asking you what your most difficult leadership role is. So at Mela, we like to celebrate the roles that we have in our lives, and we underline as well the fact that the most difficult leadership role you're ever going to have is at home. So, you know, Shahab was talking about development initiatives and community service. You know, you have this massive business that you're juggling in several different countries. But then, you know, at the end of the day, what's the hardest leadership role that you play? Is it community? Is it business? Is it family? Which one is it?
I think balancing between all of that. Like at some point, it's not about like I don't believe in work-life balance or not. It's not like that. But as an entrepreneur, when you start, you need to focus 100% on what you're doing. And that was my life for 3-4 years. And after that, you can burn out. So we decided that we need to take a break, at least a day every week that we need to take a break. And we decided that we are not working on Fridays anymore. So we took a break. And then I just got recently married, so that's a new thing for me. So, and we're living in 2 different countries, so this is a new thing that it needs understanding from the 2 parties, and we need to understand this, and we need to work on it. So I think it's all about understanding your priorities and understanding what you need to do to make it happen for you. Setting priorities in the first place.
Anybody else have any questions for me?
Competition. How do they compete? E-ticketing, I'm sorry, I'm very not IT savvy. So what kind of threats and competition might be facing? So, lower costs? Or, I mean, yeah, so is there a competition in the first place? If so, what makes you unique and different than lead, of course, in this category and so forth? So yeah, competition.
Of course, there is competition, and actually the event space is very, very crowded, and there's a lot of players in this space, and there will always be competition. And when we started, especially, like every month or something, I hear about a new startup from Egypt or from the Middle East that actually trying to compete with us and disrupt what we're doing. In the beginning, I used to feel that, oh my God, what are we doing about it? And then as we're moving forward, you can care about competition and you can fear competition, or you can actually focus on what you are doing and try to make it better and better. It's not about price. It's not about competition. It's about quality and what you are doing. Even if you have like ups and downs, but you need to focus and you need to keep going. There's always competition, even with the biggest players. You need to focus and you need to keep going, because if you're not doing your job well, if you don't have a quality product, someone will come from nowhere, invest a lot of money, and take the market from you. And you can see competition as an opportunity as well. So there's always an opportunity in competition. Even if they are bigger than you, they can acquire you. If they are smaller than you, you can acquire them and you can take the team. Competition is healthy because it keeps you moving forward.
And on this competition, on this note, from the investment side, I used to get a lot of pitches, people saying, we're doing this events app that is better than Eventtus and so and so and so. And they will always be convinced, and this is from Egypt. I don't share Eventtus' plans, but I see a huge difference between what they were doing and what the others were doing. And then fast forward 4 or 5 years later, today, Eventtus is one of the top companies in the world doing what you're doing. So these guys, they went nowhere. They were just basically saying we're the best, and they had just an idea or some slides. Today, somebody that actually focused on the product, focused on the company, focused on building a commercial business, eventually became a world leader in that space. So this is how I would say dealing with competition. Any other question?
So I wanted, you were so passionate about like changing the events we're from. So from the moment that you started on Eventtus to the moment that you saw, okay, now we're on track, like the ideation phase, the trial phase, what was the story to keep you moving on and like, you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna quit and go back? What was
Yeah, I think you never feel that you're on track or you did this, because there's always changes and you need to keep changing whatever happens, because the market is changing. Technology, especially technology, it's very dynamic environment. There is always new technologies, new hardware, software. You need to do something different. I think celebrating the small successes. Once you do something and you achieve it, having like goals. We used to have a yearly goal and then a small short time goals that we want to achieve. And from day one, we used to have a list of, because our clients are events at the end of the day, so we had a list of events that personally and within the team, these are the events that we want to take. It's not the end of the world, but this is the first list, and then we want to achieve the biggest level. And whenever we achieve something, we try to celebrate it. We try to share it with the team. Try to just give yourself, because it's very stressful, so give yourself a space and celebrate it with your team and with the people with you, and then take it to the next level.
We have time for 2 more questions, so, okay, and then Amina. Fadal. Habib.
May I ask a question related to the leadership?
Okay.
Going to the events, obviously, how do you guys monetize your data out of those events? I mean, do you have some plans to do this, not just doing the subscription and fees as a percentage of the...
Sure. We don't monetize it right now. Of course, we have plans for that, but I think it's still early. Right now, we need to focus on what we are doing. But later on, so this is something that we had from day one. Personalized content, for example, for you. Because we understand what we do is we have one account for all the events. So you can use our app for all the events, and we understand that you're interested in technology and music, or for example, energy and something else. We can recommend you events. We can recommend you, if we know that you're in Cairo and you're attending an event in London, we can recommend you hotels, even restaurants around the venue. We can recommend you content during the event that you would like based on the different sessions you attended, or even people to meet because you're interested to meet this and that, or you met these people and we know that you would be interested to meet similar people. Right now, we don't monetize from this. We see it as a feature that that enrich the experience. Maybe in the future, later on. Right now, we don't monetize from it.
Amina?
Okay, so being a leader to your organization and how you became a CEO from a founder, and you were talking about how you learned to become more of a manager to the organization and the kinds of challenges. How do you see like the transition for you to be a CEO? Did you consider having someone else as a CEO at one point in the life of Eventtus? What are the fears, and have you learned anything during your journey of who you see the future CEO of Eventtus and its growth, and how do you think about that you've learned?
Okay, that's a very hard question. It's a learning process. Like, you need to grow with your company as well, and you need to work on your personal skills, qualification, and knowledge. Each stage, it needs different skills, and you need to adapt with it. I honestly used to read a lot. I used to watch a lot of podcasts and videos, and in the beginning, I used to watch like TechCrunch, how they pitch to investors, how I used to analyze what they are doing and so on, just to learn. And then having mentors and having someone that you trust, and you go and tell them, I have this, what should I do right now? And they can help you analyze the problem and actually take it forward. So I think having people that you trust and can depend on, they help you in that. You never feel that I have known it all right now and I can do this forever. There is always different challenges. Each stage is different, and you need to learn with it. Having a different CEO or not, I never thought about it, but you need management. You need management. It doesn't have to be a CEO. As a CEO, you can focus on product, you can focus on sales, finance, whatever. But the team, especially in a tech startup, they got inspiration from the founders. Because this is your company, this is what you do, this is actually, it was nothing and you built it. So no one can feel, no one can run it like you, because it's changing. It's not Uber yet. And even Uber with Travis is different than Uber without Travis. So as a founder, you have the passion, and no one else can have that. They can run it, so you can have like COO, you can have managers, general managers, managing directors, and so on. But as a founder, I believe founders are the DNA of the company. So yeah, we try to be up to the challenge and be up to what the company needs actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. So, okay, we're.
Simple question.
Oh, okay.
Are the co-founders still with you?
Yes, she's here actually. Yes.
Okay, a round of applause for Mai. Thank you very much.
Thank
Mai.
you.